It's Monday, April 11th, 2016. This is PSN News. Tonight, we'll have the latest on a car crash that injured 2 students last week.
We'll also take a look at Ben Shapiro's controversial visit to Penn State. Stay tuned.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Michelle Backus.
And I'm Cherish Fong.
Penn State is known for breaking records at Thon, but now students have another fundraising total to be proud of. The Daily Collegian reports this weekend's Relay for Life broke its fundraising record after it raised over $114,000 for the American Cancer Society. The event, which is in its 12th year, hit some bumps in the road this weekend when bad weather moved Relay from the hub lawn to inside the building. However, the fundraiser went off without a hitch for the remainder of the weekend, with student organizations celebrating the cancer survivors in attendance, playing games, and even having a wing eating contest. Attendees said they hope to see participation at Relay grow even larger in the years to come.
2 Penn State students are still recovering after being hit by a car Thursday night. The Daily Collegian reports Molly Kenny and Charlotte Moriarty were struck crossing the intersection of East Prospect Avenue and South Garner Street sometime after 11 p.m. They were struck by Allison Roshner, also a Penn State student. Police say they believe she was under the influence of alcohol while driving as she failed the sobriety test on the scene. However, witnesses on the scene also said it did not appear Kenny or Moriarty looked before crossing the intersection. Kenny was transported to the Mount Nittany Medical Center with severe injuries, and Moriarty was life-flighted to a medical center in Altoona. Both are expected to make full recoveries.
After a long and difficult election season, Penn State's student body finally has its new leaders. On Wednesday, Terry Ford and Katie Jordan were sworn in as the new UP-UA president and vice president. Onward State reports the honor was performed by outgoing president Emily McDonald. Their swearing came in after the original competitors, Divi Agnahorty and Megan Fleming, were docked campaign spending money for rule violations and then disqualified. Ford addressed the issue, saying UPA is not going to stop being productive because it faced some negativity. As for the future, Ford said he will be working on model lease updates, strengthening bystander intervention, and joint initiatives with the IFC.
The election for the Board of Trustees open alumni seats has officially begun. Onward State reports voting is open, with 4 alums vying for the 3 spots. Those running are incumbents Ten Brown, Barbara Duran, and Bill Oldsey, as well as Thon 2008 overall Dan Coco. Brown, Duran, and Oldsey have been endorsed by the alumni group Penn Staters for responsible stewardship, while Coco has been endorsed by former Penn State football player and board member Adam Teleferro. All alumni are eligible to vote in the election and have until May 5th to submit their ballot.
The 2016 presidential election is heating up across the nation, including downtown State College. Onward State reports the Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton campaigns have opened offices downtown. Clinton's campaign will hold the grand opening of their South Allen Street office today, with special guest Cecilia Richards, president of Planned Parenthood. Meanwhile, Sanders' campaign has also officially opened an office on South Allen Street, and they are looking for volunteers and donations. Students better decide who they're voting for soon, as the Pennsylvania primaries are coming up on April 26th.
Some controversy hit campus on Wednesday when conservative political commentator Ben Shapiro visited Sparks. Onward State reports Shapiro was here to give a speech sponsored by the college Republicans. However, several protesters stood outside the building, banging on the doors, chanting Black Lives Matter, and hurling insults at Shapiro. Protesters were reacting to the topic on Shapiro's speech, which was titled When Diversity Becomes a Problem, and tackled everything from white privilege to trigger warnings. The protests continued throughout the entire speech, but Shapiro continued on with police by his side to provide security.
Coming up next, we'll be giving you the latest headlines from across the world. Stay tuned. Future innovators and entrepreneurs have a busy week ahead of them this week because it marks the 5th annual IST Startup Week. Startup Week is hosted by the College of IST with the goal of inspiring enterprising students. The event began today with a speech from Chandra McMahon, the Senior Vice President of Verizon. The remainder of the week will offer students workshops, collaborative think tanks, team challenges and competitions, networking events, and a speaker series. All events are open to the public and most will be live streamed on the College of IST website. Well, with busy schedules and finals coming up, students may have a hard time keeping up with the latest news. But no worries, that's why we have Alyssa Gregory here to help tell us what is happening around the world.
Thanks, Michelle, and welcome back. More than 100 people are dead in southern India after fireworks sparked an explosion at a temple early Sunday morning. According to officials, more than 350 people were injured after the temple went up in flames. Indian government officials stated that they will be giving out cash payments of about $3,000 to the families of all the victims. After a 17-hour search effort, 3 men were finally found on a deserted Pacific island after being spotted by a U.S. Navy airplane. The men were located after spelling out the words "help" out of palm trees that were found out on the island. The men went missing after a wave overtook them as they were leaving a Micronesian island and had to swim to a deserted island. Thankfully, they were all wearing life jackets. 23 are dead after a bus in Peru plunged into a 66-foot river while trying to avoid a truck swerving across the highway. The bus was headed to Cusco to participate in voting in wake of Sunday's presidential election. Those who do not vote in Peru can be fined, as voting is obligatory. Now, Michelle, I have to say, being stuck on an island for more than 17 hours, that's like the real life Castaway. I couldn't have done it.
You know what? It sounds like a movie. It's honestly too hard to believe it's true, but thank God that they found them. That's crazy that they were able to see them with palm trees nonetheless.
I couldn't agree with you anymore, but make sure you stick with us because coming up next, I'll be talking to Adrian Thompson, the editor-in-chief of a new magazine right here at Penn State. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back. Now, as we know, the Penn State community is filled with innovative and talented students ranging in all majors and colleges. But for today, I'm zoning in on one College of Communication student in particular, broadcast journalism and Spanish double major junior Adrian Thompson. Adrian is the editor-in-chief of Sovereign Magazine, a brand new first-year magazine started right here at Penn State. Adrian, thanks so much for sitting down with me today.
No problem, it's my pleasure.
Now, you're a junior here, next year you're graduating, but you decided to start this new magazine. Could you tell me a little bit about how it got started?
Yeah, so basically, near Thanksgiving of the year what just passed, I felt that as students of color, we needed that type of publication on campus because there was nothing there really. There were a lot of other magazines, but they weren't really geared towards us. And since then, I just decided this is what we need. We should do it. Right. So I started recruiting people. People came on board, and then it officially became an organization in January. And then we started recruiting people, and that's where it is today. So now we're just publishing it, and we're just waiting for it to be released.
Now, what type of content can we expect? Is it like investigative journalism? Is it like politics in there? What type of content can we really expect?
It basically just highlights the students of color on this campus with all the events they do, anything that they like, things that regarding social justice, fashion, beauty, fitness, sports, things just of that nature, and anything else that we see that needs to be put in there.
Yeah, now this magazine is still relatively new, but you're a junior, you'll be back here next year, as I just mentioned earlier. What are your expectations and goals for this magazine as it's starting to grow?
Well, I just expect Sovereign just to become a really well-known magazine on campus, really huge, and I expect for everyone to know about it once they get on campus as freshmen.
Now, who can join? Can anybody, let's say, I want to be a writer. How do I go about actually, executing it and being able to write, these nice stories?
Well, if you just email us at sovereignmag@gmail.com, we'll definitely get back to you in a fast amount of time. But we obviously stopped recruiting since it's the end of the year, but next semester you should see us at the involvement fairs and stuff like that. And if you're not communications major, it doesn't matter because not only do we have editors and writers, but we have graphic designers, photographers, and things of that nature that you can join. And I plan on making sure we teach these students also some of these skills to be a part of this magazine because I don't want people to feel like they're left out.
Now, to me, it sounds like you're really steering the ship here. What, was driving you throughout the process of making this magazine, getting, staff members? Because it's more than just thinking of the idea. You're doing a lot of legwork here.
Yeah, it's weird because as it came about, it was just really just an idea. I was like, oh, we don't have anything like that for us. And then I was just like, wait, why don't I just do it? So, I think the thing is that we need to start just doing things and not waiting for someone else to do it. So every day I'm just like, okay, I need to do this because it's more than just for me. It's for the people of this campus and for the people behind me and after me and stuff.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me. I appreciate it, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Make sure you keep your eyes and ears open about Sovereign Magazine and be sure to pick up a copy. That's all we have for you today, but stick with us because up next we'll have your local weather forecast.
From the students of Penn State Meteorology, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
Old Man Winter made a return here in central Pennsylvania this past weekend, brought a couple inches of snow across central Pennsylvania. The good news is into this upcoming week, it looks like spring will be returning. We had some rain showers today. We're going to have a light rain overnight tonight, and those rain showers will taper tomorrow morning. Sunny skies and warming temperatures for the upcoming middle parts and the end of this week look to be above average in time for the upcoming blue and white weekend we have here on campus. So winter will be staying away and spring will be returning just in time for this weekend's festivities. The rainfall tonight, if it's not raining at your house now, it likely will be over the next couple of hours. A light, steady rain expected overnight tonight. The cold front will begin to push off to the south and east. So tomorrow morning, just a few showers here in central Pennsylvania. Bulk of the rainfall will be to our south and east. Will dry out over the course of the day on Tuesday, likely seeing a bit of sunshine by the evening hours. And then we will have one more night below freezing, could have some patchy freezes and frost likely across central Pennsylvania. So do protect those plants for one more night. If you've had them protected over this past weekend, we likely will stay above freezing over the rest of this week. So one more night in store. That will be for Tuesday night into early on Wednesday morning. And then we'll stay dry and a good bit of sunshine for the large part of this week. Now, there's been a little bit breezy today with the southerly wind bringing in that warmer weather, but that cold front will be sliding off to the south and east, and that's going to bring us the cooler air just in time for that freeze we're expecting on Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. A winds out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour, maybe gusting to 20, but that'll even taper over the course of the day on Tuesday, and things will calm down in time for the day on Wednesday. So your forecast for tonight, 41 degrees is your low, rain likely. That winds will be out of the south. They'll turn to the northwest tomorrow morning. Those showers will begin to taper. A few peaks of sunshine possible by the afternoon. High temperature of 51 degrees, so considerably warmer than we've had this past weekend. We were stuck in the 30s for a large part of Saturday and on Sunday. Here's your 7-day forecast, courtesy of the Penn State Campus Weather Service. The sunshine returns for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as well. Temperatures considerably warmer both day, getting warmer each and every day. And then for this weekend, temperatures possibly getting into the lower and middle 60s, which is above average for this time of year. Keeping the weekend dry, we'll continue to monitor this forecast as we get closer to the upcoming blue and white weekend. But right now, looking like we have a pretty good shot at a really pleasant weekend. From the Penn State Campus Weather Service, I'm student meteorologist Michael Spagnolo. Stay tuned, sports is next.
When he arrived at Augusta National a year ago for the first time, Danny Willett broke down and cried when he spoke of his humble beginnings playing a par 3 course in the middle of a sheep field. Skip forward a year, and Willett is still crying his eyes out at Augusta National Golf Course. But this time, it's in celebration of a Masters Championship victory and a green jacket. Make no mistake about it, though, Willett isn't some scratch golfer who got lucky for a couple holes. The 8-year pro entered the weekend ranked as the 12th best in the world. That was bumped up to 9th following his Masters victory. As you know, golf is a game of peaks and valleys. For as beautiful as it can appear sometimes, it often can look equally ugly at other times. No one now knows that more than Jordan Spieth. Spieth, the former #1 golfer in the world, was the leader at the Masters all weekend. That is until the 12th hole of his final round, in what are some are calling one of the worst collapses in golf history. Spieth quadruple bogeyed the par 3 12th. Yup, quadruple bogey. Spieth, who won the tournament last year as a 21-year-old, carded a final round score 6 strokes worse than Willett to finish a disappointing second. The Golden State Warriors have tied the Chicago Bulls for the most wins in a regular season in NBA history. Steph Curry and co. accomplished the feat on Sunday by beating the Spurs, the undisputed second-best team in basketball, in San Antonio. The loss marked the Spurs' first loss all season at home and gave the Warriors the record for the most road wins ever in a season. Golden State will look to clinch the record all for themselves in their last game of the season against the Grizzlies on Wednesday. The NFL world is still reeling today after the tragic loss of longtime defensive end Will Smith over the weekend. The former New Orleans Saint and Super Bowl champion was found dead on Saturday night after suffering multiple gunshot wounds. The shooting came just 2 hours after Smith was seen dining with former New Orleans Chief of Police Billy Saravolo. Some are linking Smith's relationship with the police as a reason for the shooting. The primary suspect had previously sued Saravolo over the shooting death of his father in 2005. Smith was 34 and had last played in the NFL in 2012. We may only be 3% of the way into the MLB season, but that hasn't stopped a few players from putting up a half season worth of numbers. The main examples of this small sample size silliness is Trevor Story. Story, the shortstop of the Colorado Rockies, has already hit 7 home runs in his team's first 6 games. Along the way, the rookie became the first to hit 3 bombs in his first 2 career games and the first to hit 1 out in every one of his first 4. After taking off a day from homering on Saturday, he was right back on the board with another impressive bomb yesterday. Let's see if he can keep up his current 190 dinger pace. Probably will not. That was your PSN Sports Update. Don't go anywhere. Cherish and Michelle will be back to wrap things up right after this.
Thanks for joining us, and hey, make sure to check out our Twitter at PSN News.
And make sure to watch us every Monday night live at 7 p.m. Have a good night and thanks for watching.